So, before I begin this video, I need to clarify something that I've always believed, and that is all art is political. Of course, we are not talking about all art right now. Films are political. Whether or not you like it or you disagree, whether you wanted to make it political or whether it was just a family friendly, chill film, it's still going to be political, as we saw in the case of Pathaan. Now, the thing about Pathaan is you've already read enough reviews, you already know the whole situation, political situation or the clothes related situation. I don't know what that was, but we need to understand how Pathaan changes things in the larger sphere of Bollywood or the Hindi film industry itself. Now, let's look at the situation in the film industry so far. In the past few years, there haven't been a lot of noteworthy mainstream films as such. And the few decent ones that did come out sometimes were just remakes of South Indian films. And of course, Bollywood kept going for this formula, and there's a reason for that. Yes, we have a government in the center which has constantly been trying to destroy everything the Hindi film industry stands for and destroy filmmaking and creativity, because art and creativity on its own always poses a threat to a despotic government. I know a lot of people are already hating on me in the comments, but that's okay. Now, the thing is, when you crack down on the industry in such a way and the economy is not doing great, it affects the kind of films that come out. So people started producing more and more mass appeal films or remaking things that have already worked well in the South, because they hoped that those films will also do well in the Hindi market. But sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't, because ultimately Hindi speakers can just watch the dubbed versions of South Indian films. And in this process, what happened was that Hindi films forgot what they stood for and their own type of masala, which is different from the South. I'm not going to go into whether it's better or it's worse, but it's all different. At the same time, this also affected good art house films or good films that can come into the mainstream these days, because ultimately, when you don't have money in the industry, you don't want to take risks, and creative experimental projects are always risks. Now, coming to Shah Rukh Khan. Yes, we all know, everyone has been talking about it. Shah Rukh Khan's big comeback, everyone is excited, everyone is happy. One thing I want to commend is that Shah Rukh Khan never bowed before this government or its despotic ways. He kept silent, which a lot of us didn't appreciate for a long time. But at the end, he came out with a film which has Pathaan in its title, and it is so proudly and unabashedly a Muslim name. And ultimately, this is exactly what the government is trying to destroy in this country, the name of the Muslim. Whether it's Allahabad or whether it's the Mughlai Paratha, they just don't like Islamic origins to any names in this country. And that is what Shah Rukh Khan stood against when this film came out. He didn't say anything, he didn't put it out there loudly, but it made a difference. And the fact that there was no censorship on the filmmakers' part after they were put into this whole Bhagwa bikini scandal or whatever, they still kept the scene in the film, which is remarkable, honestly. In this day and age, it's difficult to take a stand like that, especially when so much money is on the line. But what we learned from the release of this film is that Indians actually don't care about the hatred that is being spread. We care about films that make us happy. We care about the stars that we created, and we care about their work. That's why in this film you'll see a lot of references to past Shah Rukh projects. You see Dimple Kapadia at one point says that he was our center forward. That's a Chak De reference. At one point, Shah Rukh goes up to someone named Karen and sings "Tu hai meri Karen," and he ends it with Karen, and that was, of course, we all know that's a Dar reference. Even his origin story in the film, the way it is shown, and the fact that he was left as a baby at the door of a cinema theatre, and he went on to become Pathaan after that. Here, Pathaan, of course, refers to Shah Rukh Khan himself, because he was born out of the movies and he was made into this star, this Pathaan out of Delhi that we know him as today. And that was all because of the audience. They also mention his real life injuries in the film, like the metal plates in his body and all the problems that he's facing at this age, because he is quite old if you really think about it. All of this is mentioned in the film because Pathaan is the kind of film where the actor is not playing a character, the actor is playing himself. The character adapts towards the actor. This is something very specific to the Indian film industry where the star is bigger than the film. And that's not necessarily a bad thing in this context because Pathaan has given us faith in Bollywood. Not in the sense that it's a great filmmaking feat, I would never say that, but it has given us faith that Bollywood will gather the courage to make something of its own, and in the future, this good money that they are making will also be put into other ventures, more interesting, intellectual, good filmmaking with good scripts, because we need such films, and those films cannot exist without something like a blockbuster as big as Pathaan. And so the fact is, whether we like it or not, Pathaan has done something that people like me have been waiting for a long time, and that is bring the masala Hindi blockbuster back to life after it has been losing for a while. I mean, no one really sees a lot of the good films that come out because they don't get a theater release, because it's more for the Netflix audience or the paying audience of an OTT platform. So single screens needed this jerk, and when a formulaic film like this comes out, it makes way for bigger masala films that are actually high quality. Say for example Lagan or Rang De Basanti. This film is an achievement. This film is the perfect comeback, and this film is also a perfect comeback for Bollywood against all odds, against every kind of hatred that is being spread in this country, because it still stands for that brotherhood, that Amar Akbar Anthony that Shah Rukh Khan talked about in a recent press meet. And that's exactly what Hindi films should always stand for. That's my 2 cents on Pathaan. Let me know what you thought of the film in the comments. Of course, I didn't discuss the film itself because, I mean, I kind of didn't like it that much, but like I'm really happy that it did well, right? That's a good thing. So don't forget to like this video, please share it with your Pathaan loving friends, and leave me a comment and let me know what you think about this video and about the film, and I'll see you next time. Bye.